going on there? Guys, we back with another one, and today, got to talk about Ja Morant and T. Morant. Now, we haven't covered those two in a while, but T. Morant was down in New Orleans, and he was visiting some kind of basketball camp or something like that, and he was telling kids different things, giving them good advice about how to conduct themselves as athletes, and he spoke about Ja Morant's situation, which has people divided, right? You got some people saying that he's capped. You got some people saying that, well, you know, at least now the truth is out there with Ja and his decision-making over the course of the last few months, you know, and over the last year, really. T's basically saying that Ja's responsible for everything that he's gone through over the last few months, you know, with his suspensions and everything and losing the money he's lost. And some people don't necessarily believe that, because you had some warning signs there about the people around him and people trying to get in contact with them. We're going to look at what Chris Paul dad said again, if you didn't see that video. First, we're going to hear what T said. Then we're going to check out CP3 dad, and we're going to check out Kendrick Perkins. And then I'll be back. Let's peek.
I'm coming from thinking for my son, like make sure anytime y'all anywhere know the capabilities of everybody around you, right? My son didn't get in trouble for the people around him. He got in trouble for his decision. So always be mindful of every decision y'all make, because it can pretty much take over you, it can consume you and make you think that who you're not.
How did you maintain your position as father, you know, even though Chris was making the money?
Even though Chris has made the money to maintain who I am, first thing Chris wanted to do was move us out into another house. And me and my wife, we wasn't ready. You know, we was happy where we was. The real eye-opener is when he bought his 2006 car, and I went down there to look at it, and it cost more than my house. That's when I was like, wow, you know, this boy making some money. But once again, the money don't change who you are.
Right.
You's his father. You've been there. I mean, it ain't like you gonna start acting like I need a Mercedes next week, I need this next week, you know, your son know you know your son. If it's something that you need to sit down and talk to him about, sit down and talk to him.
Right.
You know, you ain't gonna take a back and say, well, I can't talk to my son. He's playing in the NBA now. You know, I can't. Oh no, don't never feel like that, or you won't be no good to him. You won't be no good.
Okay, so I done developed a whole personal relationship with the kid and his family. And some things were happening then, and I called Ja to the side, and I called his daddy to the side, and I gave them some advice and some things that I thought they should clean up, because I honestly believe that this kid had the potential and still have the potential, but it's going to be a rough road of being the face of the NBA when it comes to his box office, the way that the kids gravitate to him, all the above, right? Getting phone calls after phone calls, I will call them and tell them, hey man, listen, this is how y'all need to conduct yourselves. Man, follow this model. I don't know who you need to reach out to. Maybe I need to put you in contact with LeBron James to see how to clean this up and run y'all camp, man, because you have a golden opportunity. Forget the max contract he signed. Forget the Nike signature shoe. You have an opportunity by the time you finish this game to damn near reach $1 billion if you play your cards right. So now we get to this point, incident after incident, and still no accountability. Who's out to get him? Nobody was out to get him. If anything, we was trying to make the world know who the hell he was as a dynamic player and how great of a player he is. So I'm to the point, I don't give a damn how Ja Morant feels, or his camp, or what they have to say. I don't.
So one of the things that people find problematic about T. Morant's statement is shirts like you see on the screen right now. Be you, they'll adjust. He wore this shortly after one of the suspensions and some of the things that was going on with the Pacers and other teams, and you know, some of the things Ja Morant was involved with off the floor, and they're like, this is the exact type of mentality that's causing Ja to continue to go into that direction. Yes, he's a grown man. He makes his own decisions now. But you, as his father, you have to wear some of that responsibility of how he's trained. And if he didn't understand some of the things you said when you were raising him and training him up, then you're to be held accountable for not getting that message across. Now, it's not solely on you, and sometimes kids mess up with parents that have been teaching them the right way the entire time. I'm just saying that you do wear some of that responsibility because he's your offspring. He's your firstborn son. Also, T says there was nobody around him. If I recall correctly, his sister called him to the high school game when she got into it with that young man. Now, I won't harp on her because she's a minor and she's like, oh, big brother, come handle this for me. And that's just, whether Ja was in the NBA or he was just her big brother that was working at the Walmart up the street, she probably still would have called him. So I don't put too much into that. But what I do put a lot into is his mother calling him up to the shoe store. That's somebody directly around him and someone you should trust, 1,000% not to be involved in that. Now, they say Devontae Pack was the one who packed out, the youngster in his backyard, and also had the laser beam pointed at the Pacers team bus. So we can't just sit here and say that nobody around him had no part to play in this. Now, Ja having them around, is that a bigger problem? Yes, but like I said before, one incident was his sister, one was his mother. Now, by all accounts, I haven't necessarily heard that T explicitly had anything to do with the event, like that he started and Ja had to come to the rescue. So I will give him applause on that. What I will say is the thing where he was talking to Chris Paul's pops, where he said, if you can't maintain that father role, regardless of what his status is in the National Basketball Association, you won't be any good to him. And so the fact that you even saw your son as anything other than that when he started making all the money, that's a problematic mind state to even see it like that. I don't care if my kid had $100 billion. We either keep the boundary as me as the father and them as the son or daughter, or they can cut me off or whatever, but that line of me being the parent will be respected. And I don't mean, I'm telling them when to go to bed and stuff like that at a certain age. They do what they want on their free time. It's just when they in front of my face, they respect me as the parent with the, with the authority in the room at that time, and I'll respect them as adults. So I won't even treat them like children. They just got to know I'm the parent at all times. So the fact that you even thought that was a question to ask, that's why CP3 pops, Wendell Carter pops, and I can't remember who the other player parent was in there, but they were kind of laughing because that was a weird question. Like, how do you maintain being the dad? I'm just the dad because I'm the dad. Like that don't change because, somebody scores 15, 20,000 points in their NBA career. They make the all-star team a certain amount of times that they make hundreds of millions of dollars. That's just them providing a better life for their family. And if they want to contribute to me as the parent, they can, but they're not obligated to even do that. I just want to see my children go do good in life. So your mind state has contributed to that some, if I may add that in. The fact that that was actually a question, therein lies some of the problem, is what I would say to that, man. But hopefully, they can take some of the good advice T was given. One thing you can do is cut down some of the fat on your circle as it pertains to friends and even family members at times. Honestly, you got to do that too. Cut some of that fat off. Watch your surroundings. That was good. Assume everything's going to be taped, like he said. I didn't play the whole thing, but yeah, assume everything's going to be audio, visual, and will be repeated. So treat every public forum that way, and that will help you navigate those waters. So he has some good gems in there too. I just wanted to point out some of the other things. Guys, let me know what you think in the comments though. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, peace.